Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we will be reviewing the M1A1 Clickbait. Now, the Clickbait is the premier US premium tank, setting at a battle rating at 12.0. And now it is currently on sale, so I thought we would review it. In today's video, we will go through the firepower, mobility, and armor, and a little bit of my own thoughts if I think it's worth it for you to buy. Now, this will all be timestamped, so if you want to skip to any of the parts, feel free to do so. Also, if you want to see any of the other vehicles reviewed, please leave a comment and also subscribe because, well, I need to pay rent. Also, if you have any other questions about the tank or any other tank in the shop, join the Discord link in the description and I will try my best to help you. But now let's get into the actual review. So, the Clickbait. It's the exact same tank as the M1A1 in the normal tech tree, but with some cosmetics and, well, premium bonuses. It does lack the dozer mod and the M908 heat run, but to be honest, these two are basically used as mods in terms of added capability, so you won't even notice it. This is a premium tank, so the multiplier for the tanks are improved, with the SL multiplier being at 570% and the RP multiplier being at 732. Now, with this being an Abrams, you will be a jack of all trades, master of none kind of tank, with some points being stronger than others. But I should also mention this before we start the actual review, that it is a top tier vehicle, and you will have a very difficult time if you are a newer player to get any good use of it and value out of the new tank. So, if you're newer, I would definitely recommend a lower tier premium, and if you want to go in the United States, the T29 would be my recommendation. I will also have a review on that vehicle coming up in days. But with that being said, let's get into the strongest part of the Clickbait in my opinion, which is the firepower. So, for me, the selling point of the Clickbait, it's definitely your firepower. Having M1A1 APFSDs, which is one of the better rounds at this battle rating, means you'll have no problem whatsoever killing pretty much every tank you will see. Your other round, which I see overlooked a lot, especially by the newer players who buy the Clickbait, is the M83A1 MPAD round. Now, this may just look like your normal heat FS round, but in reality it's way more potent than that. And the reason for that is that the round has proximity fuse, which allows you to be a threat to helicopters, which is quite common around this battle rating. What's even better is that your ammo storage can hold up to 30 rounds safely thanks to your blowout panels. So I would always recommend you bring at least 5 MPAD rounds so you can be a threat to helicopters or just overpressure lightly armored vehicles or SPAAs. Now, when you get this tank, don't forget to train your crew, and if you have the SL for it, use the SL to expert it. With an expert crew, you can get your reload down to a mere 5.1 seconds, which is very good for the battle rating. For the gun itself, you have a depression angle of -10, which is also very good. It allows you to play very comfortably on the ridge lines. Now, for your sight and optics, you have a zoom of 3 to 10 times, which is pretty decent, can help you on a larger map. But the one thing that is lacking on this tank is the thermal sight. You only have generation 1 thermal sight, which is very bad, especially at 12.0. The commander also lacks a optic entirely, which means overall your optics compared to all the other enemies you will be facing is quite lacking. But overall, your gun handling and firepower is very good for the battle rating. So, let's move on to the next part, which is your mobility. Mobility wise, I also think the tank is very solid, with 1519 horsepower and a transmission which allows you to get up to 68 km per hour forward in reverse, which is very good. But more importantly, at least in my opinion, is that the reverse gear allows you to get up to 38 in reverse. Because this will allow you to just pull up on a ridge, shoot and quickly retreat. But just keep in mind that your engine is a gas turbine, which is very loud and distinct, which means players, especially more experienced ones, will know exactly where you are and especially what tank you're in from basically across the map. You can hear this tank from basically the entire map. Both the mobility and the firepower are the stronger part of the kit, but what really limits you, especially what I believe, is your protection. I really think that the weakness of the clickbait is your protection. From the side your armor is basically non-existent, with it going from around 30 to 110 depending on where you aim. But again, it's basically nothing, especially at battle rating 12.0, where basically everything, every auto cannon, everything can just go through your side like without anything. So yeah, the side is non-existent, but the side is pretty bad for every tank, but from the front it's not even better. The only thing is your turret cheeks being able to somewhat consistently stop incoming shells, but again, it's not really reliable. The hull, it's so bad. Basically made from butter, everything can go through you. So when you're playing the clickbait, especially the clickbait, now this goes for every tank, but especially the clickbait, it's very important that you try your best to avoid being hit, since that will basically spell the end for you. When fighting enemies, especially brawling, try to prioritize their gun and breaches. Since you have your 5-second reload, you can ensure a kill very quickly after you have disabled them. And again, it's more safe than allowing a 50-50. If they shoot you, you're dead. So yeah, try to go for the gun or the gun breach to allow you to stay alive. You have another gimmicky feature on the clickbait. You have a soft kill APS. Now, it only really works against old 80 gems, which are found around battle rating 8.0 to around 10.0, which means at your BR they're basically useless, and you won't even notice them. So in conclusion, for the mobility is very good, very comfortable. Armor, it's basically non-existent. You should never rely on your armor, but especially in the clickbait, you should never rely on your armor. So, is the clickbait worth it? Well, in my experience, you can come at it from two different perspectives, depending on how experienced you are in the game or how experienced you are at the top tier. If you're a newer player or not very experienced at top tier, you should probably avoid the tank, because again, it is not cheap, but not super expensive, especially during the sale. And it can be very hard to play correctly, since it's not very forgiving. The tank can be pretty hard for experienced players as well if you're unlucky. And the battle rating at top tier, it's a lot of stuff, it goes very quickly. So yeah, it's not very forgiving for new players, the tank or the battle rating. So if you're a new player, I would probably consider something that's a bit lower in a battle rating. But if you're an experienced player, it's definitely worth taking a look at, since you will be able to grind the entire tech tree with it basically. So yeah, if you're an experienced player, it's definitely worth taking a look at. I won't really tell you how to spend your money, but it is a very good tank to grind the US tech tree and fun again. And if you're a new player, you should probably avoid it and probably look into something that is a bit lower in battle rating. So with that, the review part of it is basically over. We're just gonna get into some gameplay of the clickbait. So here we are for the gameplay. We are on the map, I think it's called Iberian Castle. I decided to take the clickbait. Since it is quick, I need to utilize the speed, get up on this ridge and see if we can get any early picks, which we managed to do. Now if you're new to the clickbait, or new to top tier, lower front plate, laser rangefinder, always works, always works. And for lower front plate, now with this guy basically dead, I didn't see anybody else, so I thought we would make our way onto the cap and try to capture it as quickly as possible so we can get a early ticket bid on the enemies. Do see a 80 gem tank and another tank. Now I did have a bit of a laggy game here, but we do manage to kill the T80 BVM with again a shot through the lower front plate. We have some enemies outside the walls, but we're gonna hopefully use the cover of the walls to eliminate them one by one. Now here we have a weasel. He shouldn't be able to kill us through the turret at least. That's what I was thinking. So we can be pretty aggressive towards him, and if we just MG his gunner all the time, he can't shoot us. Try to get him, but we don't manage to do it, so we're just gonna load a MPAT round and overpressure him. With him now dead, we could start to focus on the enemies outside of the walls, and With the help of a friendly scout drone, we could start picking these guys off as well.
Target, cease fire! Recon reports enemy spotted. Up! Target, cease fire! Enemy spotted. Target, re-engaging!
With the enemies outside the wall dead, we could start moving in towards the center of the map, as I felt it was safe now to move out. We moved in towards the center of the map to help our team defend capture point B, starting off with this Swedish STRV-122. First shot goes into his side, basically eliminating him, and the follow-up shot does kill him. Now here you can see the soft kill APS actually working for once. This is the first time I've seen it work, but it does work in some cases. But again, we just get absolutely shat on by his autocannon from the side, but luckily our third basket eats the most of it.
Re-engaging!
And here you can see the empath again being a very huge threat to these sort of hovering helicopters. Laser range from him, send one shot towards him. It does miss because he moved out of the way. Load another one and just send it in his general direction, and voila, we do get the kill. This is why you always load the empath rounds to be a threat and kill helicopters, because helicopters at these high of BRs are very dangerous, so it's important you get them out of the game. With our team basically capturing all three of the control points and our team having basically control over the entire town, it's up to us to keep the open area safe until the rest of the friendlies can come and support us. So it's very important that we don't die here, because if we die, the enemies will be able to take C and put a lot of pressure on capture point B. So it's important we stay here and start just picking off all the enemies we can. Again, seeing a SPA, gonna load empath and hopefully overpressure him. Fortunately we don't, but we do get his transmission, so he will be stuck in place, so we can focus on other enemies in the meantime.
Target, cease fire!
So that is the end of the review on the M1A1 Clickbait. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see any other reviews on premium vehicles on sale, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to make them as quick as possible. But with that, the video has come to an end, and I do hope this video was informative and helps in your decision if you are gonna buy this or not. But with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed. See ya.